Good morning, guys. What's up? It's Sunday afternoon because Jerry been busy today. Now, I should have filmed it, but I was doing everything by myself and I couldn't really man the camera and film. But this is kind of what I've done today. I took the G2 Genesis out, and them are the baby brothers, the little G2 Leviathans, and I kind of came up to a different test spot. I got the wife with me, but I still had time to do a little quick YouTube video because it's in relation to this sub swap. I went up to one of my little test spots where I can't get stupid loud and crazy, but I can still, test a little bit. And there's traffic driving by, but we're on an Oak County road. Let me roll my window up. But anyway, I come up here to play a little bit. And with the old G2 Genesis in here, I would do volume 29 on my head unit. I've also told you guys that, the max number is 32, that I set the gains and everything at on the amplifiers, and bass knob rolled all the way up, of course. So with these little Leviathans in here, with them 8Ks strapped at a half each, so they're strapped at 1 ohm per pair. I got a pair of 8Ks strapped per pair of subs. That's a lot of power, especially for these little subs. So I only went up to volume 25 today on a little break-in. It was still windy, making my hood, do this and flexing the crap out of my door. I got a couple of little videos. Wife got a video hair tricking with them. So I'm kind of impressed. I mean, will they take it if I try to go up 29? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. I'm still doing a break-in. So why am I doing a break-in? I know a lot of guys that are kind of not really educated are like, full rip them out the gate. No, you shouldn't. The reason being is a lot of subwoofers have really stiff spiders. And one of two things can happen when you do that, and that's kind of what I'm doing the video about, is the break-in. And why to do a break-in? Because that stiff spider, that's the only thing you got to worry about. You ain't got to worry about your surround and loosening it. It's just the spiders. Incident one that can happen. The spider's really stiff, so it's not allowing that coil to move up and down the full stroke of X-Max. It's only going part of the way. And adding a lot of power to that, going full tilt, you're going to overheat that oil real quick and you're going to slinky it. And I've seen that happen a lot of times. The Team G2s that I got from Paul, them bad boys was stiff. And I'm talking, they were so stiff that I leaned on it like just a little bit for a short second. I couldn't get a hair trick out of them. After, a couple weeks of playing them, they were hair tricking like crazy. But that just lets me know they were barely moving even when I tried to give them some power, And I would only do that for like a couple second bursts here and there to see what they would do. And if I would have stayed in it, I would have definitely slinkied coils really quick. So that's scenario one. Scenario two, you got a stiff spider and a lot of power, but the spider isn't quite as stiff, but it's still not going to let the sub, it ain't loose enough to let that coil move all the way. It's like X mechanical, which is the limit that it can move. It's not getting full X-Max, which is where it should just normally move under good power. Anyway, what's going to happen in that situation is you got so much power and coils performing really well. Spiders aren't quite loosened up yet to allow it to move that far. And that spider's going to rip. It's either going to rip from the spider landing, or the spider itself will rip or crack. That is scenario two. One of them two things can happen. That is why it's kind of important to do a little bit of a break-in. I have way too much power for these subs. I know it, and Paul knows it. We're just testing. We're wanting to show people what the budget line of G2 can do. This is the Genesis baby brother. I had really good results in here playing the G2 Genesis. I mean, they far exceeded what I did with the Pride Audio subs. It's fact. I never could get under, really, the Prides didn't like under that, like, I never really played them under 20 hertz, I think. 21 was like the lowest I would normally do. Occasionally I'd roll a window up and try, like, I got one song that's done at 18. They didn't like it. These, I mean, the first song I played on them was 18 hertz, you know. Something to kind of get that old Spider stretching back and forth a little bit at lower power, lower volume. Really impressive. They loved it. But are they broke in yet? But no, not at all. I don't even want to attempt a burp on these yet because they are not broke in. Even though I burp in here at a higher frequency, I'm just not ready to put them through that. I'd like to get at least a couple hours of play time on them, playing some lows to see what they do. You know, get that old Spider in there loosened up. But that is why you should do a break-in on your subwoofers. When you see these guys, I mean, I've had guys comment on my TikTok when I mention break-in. I've had guys mention on here in the comments when I talk about break-in. I've had guys mention on Facebook in the groups and seen a lot of people like, you don't need a break-in. Run them how you plan on running them. Just full tilt out the gate. No. I gave you the two things that can happen. You know, if you ain't got a lot of power, you're going to be fine. But I wouldn't do it if you've got a decent amount of power. Like if I had all four of these on an 8K, I'd let them rip. Single 8K. I would just let them rip and see how they do. But since I got four 8Ks wired at a half each, do I want to do that? Absolutely not. Because I know with the power that I have in here, I could kill the Genesis if I wanted to. It would take a while, but I have done a few like long video sessions in the mornings and I have smelt them. At volume 25, where I've been rolling the bass knob in here to get a hair trick and door flex, I have not smelt these yet. But these are little 2 3/4 inch coils also. So I know that they're going to be pretty efficient and they're just not going to handle the power, you know, that the other subs handled. But that is why you should always do a little bit of a break-in or some break-in if you got a decent amount of power. That's all for this video, guys. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Peace out, guys. Bass on.